And the point is produce something, right? Produce content, be sharing, give advice, free advice, something that's going to help your clients understand that you know what the heck you're talking about. Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode. This is Social Marketing with Eric, and I'm happy to host this show today. We are talking about the platform LinkedIn, right? And everyone knows what LinkedIn is. They recognize that logo, they know the name, they've been there a few times. I would say generally most people I talk to either have LinkedIn, used it at one point in time, or use it actively. Like there's a couple different aspects of that. I think that most people associate LinkedIn with kind of that online resume, if you will. If I'm gonna go look for a job, I'm gonna update my resume and hope that I get hired, something like that, right? A lot of people think about it as a recruiting tool. So if you're a company that's looking to hire, you're gonna use LinkedIn to try to drive traffic to help them check out the job position that you have open. It's kind of a great way to talk about yourself. And that's what we're gonna discuss today, is how to really generate business from your LinkedIn profile and how to, I would say, validate you as a real estate agent, and then also use it to verify, who you are and how to become an expert in your field and what it is that you do. And I think that, this starts out with really identifying what kind of persona you want to identify with on the platform. That's what I'm looking for. So the thing that you have to think about is your URL, right? So for me, for example, I'm linkedin.com/Eric Hammond. That's how you find me. Easy to figure that out. If you're going to be a specific brand or your name like Eric Hammond, you got to claim that URL so that people can find you. Obviously, there's a lot of Eric Hammonds out there, but I'm the only one that has /Eric Hammond. So figure out your groove and what you're going to do to identify who you are. Just leaving it up to the standard populated form that LinkedIn gives you isn't going to help you, because it's just a jumble of letters and numbers and things like that. So find something that identifies with you. Maybe you're trying to build that brand like Southern California Homes, and you want that to be the brand image that you have out there. That's great. You got to set it up to be a kind of more of a team mentality, or like a place of business, right? So don't just focus on you and your assets, but actually focus on the team mentality and what it is that you provide as a real estate team and how you help people. And maybe it's just you. Maybe it's you and a TC and that's your team, but you want to brand yourself as something else besides your name because you're looking to grow and kind of develop that team model and maybe take a step back out of it someday. But figure out that right up front. Maybe you already have, maybe you're still working on that. But that's one of the first things you need to do. And then it comes down to completing your profile, right? So the image that you have on there, the logo of yourself, if you will, the header photo that you have, there's very specific dimensions to that. I know that a lot of people take pictures with their phone and put something on there. The problem is it crops it like right here, so you miss the head or you miss the rest of it, or maybe the words are cut off, however you have it. So Google, what's my LinkedIn profile picture scale, so that I know, the dimensions this way and the dimensions this way, so that it fits out right. That's true with YouTube, Facebook, everything. You need to know what those dimensions are because they're not all the same. No two platforms use the same dimension of a photo, so be sure you have that. And then next is really updating, your bio and who you are and what you are. But tell people what schools you went to, where you're from, where you've worked, where you're currently working. If you're, for example, if you're part of a big brand like Keller Williams or Century 21, mention that in there. That's going to help build up your business and your profile and who you are. There's a limit. I don't know the exact character limit to it, but have a good description of who you are as a bio. You may end up wanting to hire somebody to write one for you and give them some of the facts. Some people are better at pen than others, right? So maybe you want to just give yourself a quick summary of who you are and what you do and give that to a content writer so that they can clean it up and give them the specifics of how many characters you want in your LinkedIn bio. But that's important. Spell it out, quickly tell your story and who you are and what benefit people have with working with you and getting to know you. Things that are going to be helpful too is maybe areas of expertise. It's amazing how many real estate agents I talk to who on their website say, hey, I'm expert in land and apartments and building and first-time home buyers and moving up and selling and moving across the country and relocation and VA. Are you really the expert at all of those, or do you just want to get any business that comes your direction? So if you're going to be the expert at something, be the expert at that, right? Be an expert at one thing and maybe do others, but focus on your strengths. You obviously can't be an expert at 13 different ways to sell a house. You have to focus on one part of that and who it is that you want to reach to. There's a quote that I read, I think it was by John Steinbeck, says, when you speak to everybody, you speak to nobody. So figure out who you're going to be speaking to and who that primary client is that you want to work with. Is it a seller? Is it a buyer? There's a big difference between the two. Figure out who they are. Just because you work with sellers doesn't mean the buyers won't work with you. It just means that you're an expert at one thing. So figure that out. Back to LinkedIn. So, I think when people come to LinkedIn, they're not there to find their next real estate agent, right? They don't get to LinkedIn and type, realtors in Austin, Texas. They're probably looking for you specifically. So number one, be easy to be found. If you've got a Mac, I know you can do this. I don't know how to do it on a PC, but you can open up that incognito window and you can actually search for things from like another computer so that they don't know your search history and tracking results. But actually search for yourself and see what pulls up. See how you would find your name on LinkedIn and how high up there you are and what that first little banner looks like of yourself, because that's going to tell a lot about what your clients are going to see. Maybe you don't drive a lot of traffic to LinkedIn right now, but what's going to happen is you're going to go meet with somebody, husband and wife, a couple, whatever it is, a single person, and they're going to say, great, I really appreciate that. Let us do a little bit of homework and we're going to get back to you. What that means is they're going to go Google you and look at your website and talk to people who've worked with you, and they're probably going to check you out on LinkedIn. So they're going to check you out on LinkedIn or Google or anywhere else. You got to make sure that your stuff's up to date, that it looks good, that all the spelling errors are out, that you have some good valid information on there. So that's the traffic you're going to get to LinkedIn, is people actually doing their research and homework about you to make sure that you're who you are, right? The last thing you want is someone who loves LinkedIn and does a lot of business on LinkedIn to get to LinkedIn and you're not there, or your profile was outdated the last time you looked for a job in 1995 when you graduated high school. Understand that LinkedIn it's a valid search. It's important. There's a lot of traffic that goes there, and I think it's more of a vetting tool than anything else right now. So just keep your profile updated. And if you don't use it for anything else besides just like an online resume, at least keep it updated every 6 months. How many homes did you sell in 2017? How many buyers did you work with? What are some success stories that you have? What are some neighborhoods that you're currently selling houses? And what are you doing in the community? What are some networking groups that you're part of? Things like that, right? So just keep it up to date. Be aware of what people are thinking about and looking for, and update your profile in that way. Next, we're going to talk about connections. So there's a number that shows how many people you're connected with, and this just goes to show, do I use LinkedIn to get jobs, or am I actually active on here and connecting with people? I think after about 2,000 people, it just kind of says 2,000 and that little plus sign at the end so that they don't really know how big that gets to. But anything under that, it gives you a pretty specific number. And then if you click on it, it actually shows people who you're connected with. So, who are you going to connect with? Who are some of the other resources that you can collateralize with and be familiar with and kind of be like a referral partner with, right? Do you connect with other real estate agents? Are you connected with other lenders in the area, title companies, other professional businesses? Maybe you're part of a BNI, if you know what that is, a business networking international group, and you've got a couple other key partners in that group that you can refer business to. Those are some good people to be connected with on LinkedIn. Maybe there's other real estate agents in other parts of the country, right? If you live in Southern California and you refer business to Florida or New York or Utah or Austin or anywhere in between, you can connect to these people on there, and people can say, hey, I live in California, I'm selling my house, but I want to move to Austin, and I see that you know this agent there. Could you help us get in connect with them so that we can find a home there to buy? There's a lot of good connections that you can make there. So figure out who you're going to connect with, and I would set a goal of saying, I want to connect with 5 new people every single week just to get to know them, find out about them, how we can do business together. Again, with referrals in real estate, you can do business anywhere. I actually met a real estate agent the other day who about 80% of her closed business each year just comes from referrals. It means that she sells 20% of her business locally, and then the rest of it she's referring out all over the United States because she's all over Facebook, she's all over LinkedIn, she's connecting with people all over the world, mostly the US, and trying to find ways to work with them and do business with them. Even if somebody lives, let's say, in Kansas and they want to buy a house in Kansas, she'll still connect with them, find a top producing agent in Kansas, and get a referral fee out of that. That's the kind of real estate agent that she is. So, how are you going to connect with people and how are you going to relate to them? That's important. So go find 5 people this week and continue to find 5 people. Don't just go connect just to get your 5, but actually find strategic people that you want to connect with, right? So go find Bill, the lender in another area, and just say, hey, Bill, I don't work with any lenders in this area, and I'd love to get to know you better. And if I have any clients who move to your area, I'd love to be a resource for you and let them connect with you and share business back and forth, and vice versa. If you know anybody who's moving to my area, who's looking for a home, I'd love to connect them. And this is the steps that I do, and get to know what they're interests are, and if you have kids, and how you can relate to them, right? Find ways to connect. Don't just hit that connect button and hope for the best. Send them a private message and find ways that you guys can get to know each other. Have a virtual one-to-one with each other, whether it's over Skype or a Zoom call or something like that, and just get to know people that way. That would be such a better impact than you just going connect, real estate agent, connect, mortgage lender, connect, title company, connect, oh, that guy's a homeowner or a VP of a big company. You gotta have these good relationships with people and connect with them that way, and that's where LinkedIn is really gonna be a benefit to you. So have a goal of 5 a week. Maybe you just do 5 every Friday, or maybe you do 1 a week, whatever your pace is. Figure it out. Just keep going. After a whole year's worth, you'll have, what's that, about 1,000, 1,250 different connections if you do it 5 days a week. So did I do my math right? 5 times. Anyway, you get the idea, right? A lot of good connections on there, a lot of people on there, and it's a great place to connect. Okay, the next benefit of LinkedIn is the fact that you can put content out there in the world. So you got Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. Those are like keep people in the now and knowing what's going on, right? It's a place that you want to engage with people, connect with people, find people with similar interests, share with family members, post pictures, videos, all that kind of stuff. LinkedIn is more of the evergreen content. It's a way to really demonstrate what you know about your product that you're selling, about the area that you serve, about the clients that you work with, and things like that, okay? So I live in a town in North San Diego County called Carlsbad. If you ever come to San Diego, come say hi. We're in the south part of the country over here, beautiful Southern California. What happens here is that most people come to visit Southern California for the beaches, for Legoland, SeaWorld, Disneyland, all these big attraction type things, those kind of things. We have a lot of real estate agents in this area who don't talk about anything local. They just talk about real estate. We just sold a house, we're just listing a house, this is our open house. They don't get into the specifics of what goes on here. There's a lot of really interesting details about Carlsbad. We have a marathon here, we have an Ironman, we have, they think caves exist here. That's actually Carlsbad, New Mexico, so don't get those confused with Carlsbad. But there's a lot of things going on here, and a lot of people come here to stay for a week. Spring break is huge. Visitors from Arizona, there's a lot of people that come here and travel. Last time I read, there was something like 6,500 rooms available for rent, like hotels and Airbnb type things. So we get a lot of visitors throughout the year, okay? If you're real estate in Carlsbad and you're watching this video, you're gonna get some good tips here. What I'm gonna say is that you need to be the expert of everything in your area. So whether you live in Carlsbad or Topeka, Kansas, or Miami, Florida, or wherever you are, you need to be the expert of what you talk about. So talk about tips and strategies on selling your home versus winter versus summer versus spring versus fall, right? There's different patterns in how to sell. There's different ways to stage your house. There's cost-effective things that you can do to improve the value of your house. When you go to sell your house and you've lived there for 20 years and the kitchen's out of date and people want to replace the tile or the floor or the countertops or the paint, talk about what you could do to that house for the homeowner and showing them how if I make this simple upgrade, here's how much more you're going to be able to sell your house for. You see what I'm getting at here? Little improvements that are going to help people sell their house for. You're giving them strategies on helping them understand what type of a real estate agent you are. As you talk to the buyers that are coming to this area, say, look guys, Legoland is offering a 2-for-1 discount this week. If you go to Costco, which is right across the street from Legoland, you can get their tickets for this much money versus going out and showing at the door and having to pay full price. There's some insider topics, right? So get really local, get personal, get strategized here, and helping your clients who are going to be doing some homework on you find that type of stuff. That's going to be existing for a long time. Don't talk about, in March of 2017, here's what's going to happen. And if they watch it in June, that doesn't matter to them anymore. Talk about general stuff that's going to be specific to them all year long and helping them understand the value of what real estate is. Other things you can do is frequently ask questions. Maybe you get a lot of questions about the market and what's going on, which seems specific, but you can make it a little bit more general. How much money do I need to put down for a down payment for FHA loans? You can talk about the average home price in your area being X, and this is how much money people need to come in to close for a house. These are what credit scores are like now, and obviously that's going to change, but you can kind of get the idea of how talking about lending and buying your first home, or you can help them understand the process of buying their first home. You can talk about testimonials, right? Have people actually share a video with you about what it was like to work with you as a real estate agent, and how you helped them get through that hurdle, and how no other real estate agent was able to help them get those things. So these are some of the long-term benefits of of what content can do for you on LinkedIn. So think more long term. If I recorded this video and somebody's not going to watch it for a year from now, is that content still relevant? That's what you need to ask yourself. So with LinkedIn, you can obviously publish written word. You can upload audio. You just have to have a link in there for it. You can upload videos from like YouTube and things like that. You can actually now, depending on when you watch this is still going on, but you can actually upload video directly to LinkedIn as a native video, and it gets a lot better watch time and exposure that way. I've heard that they're rolling out a live version of Facebook video, but called LinkedIn video, so that you can actually go live on the platform and get more engaging content that way. But just know that video is available, words available, and audio is available. And the point is produce something, right? Produce content, be sharing, give advice, free advice, something that's going to help your clients understand that you know what the heck you're talking about. That's why we do this show every week for you guys. We actually do 4 different video shows throughout the week, every single week, on how to grow your business, do more on social media, tips and strategies on how to sell more homes as a real estate agent. We give you guys value, and that's what you need to do for your clients. So show them that you're the expert and be there for them and answer questions and help them understand that you're the expert in everything that you do real estate. So go make your 5 connections this week. Go find a way to connect with people that you've never met. Get out there, have those bonding relationships, try to knock it out of the park. Go get some business this year and try to find strategic partners that you can relate to, right? New lenders, new title companies, anybody else who deals with the homeowner before you do. Solar, landscape, plumbers, roofers, electricians, contractors, even like Lowe's and Home Depot and those guys, right? Go build some connections with the guys at Lowe's and Home Depot. There'd be some great connections there for you. Anyway, thanks for following along each week as we try to help you guys understand how to use social media in your business. We look forward to seeing you next week. Talk to you soon.